Hey everybody, welcome to Broadway.com's Live at 5. It is Tuesday, May 8th, 2018, and I am Ryan Lee Gilbert.
I'm Paul Wontorek.
And we are joined here in the studio by Eric King once again.
Hello.
He's back.
Appearance number 2 on Live at
right.
5. Welcome back.
Welcome back, Eric. And
hey, we also have some CDs.
we do. We have CDs.
Because Adam Kantor's here, everybody,
Yes.
from the band's visit.
Telephone guy
He's
is here
awesome.
with us. Absolutely. And we will get to Adam in just a second.
Yes.
But first, let's go through today's top 5.
Okay, it is officially award season.
Yeah.
Now it is?
It arrived. Yeah.
Now.
Oh, okay.
Now it is.
Well, okay, so one element, the Theater World Awards, which is a really cool honor given to newcomers.
Newcomers, yeah, people.
The
making
rules are a little vague
debuts,
sometimes, but newcomers, people bursting on the scene.
Yeah. Exactly.
So they will, so some of the people that you know, Anthony Boyle, Jamie Brewer, Noma
Dumezweni. You know, though.
I
you
know how to
taught
say her
me.
name. I literally
Yes.
said to her
You
face.
taught me.
Ethan Slater, Denise Goff, Harry Haddon-Patton, and Haley Kilgore. Go on the site and
So
see
many.
all the
Yeah.
honorees.
Lots
A really
of Tony
great event.
nominees. Yeah.
And it's going to be at Circle in the Square Theater on June 4th at 2 p.m. Is where these people are going to get their awards.
Yeah.
So congratulations, everybody.
Congrats.
Some mega Broadway stars are going to be announcing the Broadway.com Audience Choice Award nominations.
Yeah. Speaking of it officially being award season, right here, something very exciting is happening in a very little bit. We have Aaron Tveit and Karen Olivo, who are currently rehearsing for Moulin Rouge in Boston.
Satine.
Satine
Yep,
and Christian.
and Christian.
They were going to be right here telling you all of the
Is
nominees.
she going to be on a swing?
I hope so. Yes, with rose petals just showering down over. They're going to be announcing the nominees for the Broadway.com Audience Choice Awards that is happening today at 7 p.m.
Yep.
We're going to be streaming it on Facebook and our Instagram account. They're both BACA winners.
Yeah, they both won.
Yeah, and now they're going to tell you who you have chosen as the nominees for this year. Very exciting. And then you get to start voting for who you want to win.
Yes, vent and vote. Okay, so I have a joke. Are you ready? Once on This Island is saying "Solonga" to one of its stars.
Who is this guy? Leia Salonga, Tony winner, is leaving Once on This Island. She plays
is.
Arzuli, and she sings A Human Heart every night, and it's an event. It's beautiful.
It's so beautiful.
She'll play her final performance June 24th, and her understudy, Darlicia Kiersey.
Cersei?
Cersei?
She's taking over the role on June 25th.
Like it.
So congratulations.
Congrats.
Darlicia, and hope to see you soon, Leia.
Okay, Gavin Creel is back where he belongs.
He has put his Sunday clothes back on.
Oh my God.
And he is headed back to the Schubert
Are we really
Theater.
doing
as
this?
Cornelius Hackle. Yes, Santino Fontana has been in the role for a little bit while Gavin has been recovering from back surgery, but he's feeling.
I think he's recovering from award season. Too,
I mean,
last year,
I
'cause
get
he won
it.
the
Yeah,
Tony.
he did. But he's back and he's better than ever. He's back on his feet and he is headed back into the show tonight. We're excited to have Gavin back. Santino did an amazing job, but he's got to get ready for Tootsie.
Oh my God, I can't wait for that.
I know. So welcome back.
Speaking of David Yasmin,
Careful.
And do we have award season fatigue yet? Because now it's officially award season.
wait, it's award season.
with these awards.
Yeah, Clarence Derwent award, another cool award. Also, not really for newcomers, for most promising performers. I think that's what they call it.
Really interesting.
Ashley Park is just,
She's sweet.
raking up the trophies this week.
No kidding.
Save some for other people, Ashley. Very excited for her. Of course, she was in K-pop, and now she's in Mean Girls, and she is Tony nominated. And Sean Carvajal, who was in
Jesus Hop the
Jesus,
A-Train.
I like to say Jesus. Jesus Hop the A-Train. Also won. So this isn't this
They
from
both just won
yes,
the
Actors
Lucille
Equity.
Lortel as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah, so they get some money, I think.
Yes.
And it's very fancy.
Get that money. And also, before we let you go, the very first episode of Icebreaker backstage at Disney's Frozen with Jelani Aladdin. The first episode just went up, so make sure you go check that out. Welcome to the vlogging community, Jelani Aladdin. Paul, thank you so much for doing the news with me, but we got to talk to Adam.
Okay,
so Eric,
I'm out.
Eric, tell us a little bit about today's guest.
Yeah, we've got a former vlogger on our hands today. Adam Kantor went to Northwestern University in 2008, and then he went to star as Mark, closing out the final months of Rent on Broadway. A native of Great Neck, New York, Kantor has also been seen on Broadway in Next to Normal and Fiddler on the Roof, as well as off-Broadway in the last 5 years in Avenue Q. He's currently starring as Telephone Guy. That's what it says. In the band's visit on Broadway, and that's what we're chatting about today. Leave your questions for Adams in the comments below, and we'll get to as many as we can. Now here is Ryan and Adam.
Hello there, sir.
Oh, hello. Hello.
How's it going?
It's going great, thanks.
Are you, speaking of, well, first of all, thank you so much for coming. We're so
Thank you
excited
so
to have
much
you.
for
You're part of
having
the
me.
Broadway.com family. As Eric mentioned, you were a
Indeed.
former vlogger.
Indeed,
And
former vlogger.
Yeah. 10 years ago, you made your Broadway debut, sir. Isn't that
yes.
crazy?
I was like, we didn't vlog 10 years
No.
ago. Was that even a thing 10 years ago?
I don't know. Maybe.
Were we vlogging back then? I
I'm
feel like
sure
I
we-
did some kind of backstage
I'm
video
sure. Yeah, we
situation.
did backstage tours, all that.
But
sort
who
of
knows?
thing,
It was
yeah.
probably on one of those those like
Right.
flip cam
Yeah.
things.
On,
Look
like,
at
your
these
Razor.
cool new like
Yeah.
things that we have, because we didn't know yet that you could combine those with phones.
No, we weren't there yet.
Yeah,
But
10 years,
10
that's
years.
crazy.
And now you are in one of just the most acclaimed shows to hit the Great White Way in so long. The band's visit, 11 Tony Award nominations. How are you? Are you riding that award season high, as Eric has pointed out?
We're
to
so
us?
pumped about it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like this little show that could, you know,
Right.
and it's like, it's not your traditional Broadway musical, you know, it's so different and unique and special and weird in so many ways. And so to see it recognized in such a way is
Yeah.
like very exciting. I love it. I love it.
A lot of people do, clearly, with all of those nominations. And I mean, it's just everywhere. It was extended all that time off Broadway, and now it's here. And you were involved pretty early on, right? Like in 2014, you were a part of some workshops.
Oh, you did your
right?
research.
Oh, sir.
Oh,
Yes.
hello. We do our research here.
We do.
Do you have people get
No, I
you
do it
s-
myself.
Look
you know?
at you.
Yeah.
That's very, very impressive. Yeah, I did an early workshop that Hal Prince directed.
Right.
And I think I read a bunch of roles. I think I read like Sammy and Zelger and a whole bunch of people. And then I did a reading of it when David Cromer directed it before the Atlantic production. I didn't do the Atlantic production. I was doing Fiddler at the time.
Right.
And then was able to come in for Broadway.
And the only song you heard then was Answer Me.
The
right?
first
Yeah.
reading, the only song was Answer Me, yeah.
And
And it
now-
was played on some like boombox.
Listen to this.
Probably
guys.
from like the Rent era 10 years ago, next to a weird flip cam. It was. Yeah, they were like, yes, because like, I think we're still working on stuff, but I just wrote this song and it was him playing it with like, it sounded like a Casio on it because it was just like, I don't know, it was an early iteration of it. But I was like, wow, that song is pretty freaking beautiful.
It's incredible.
Yeah.
Like, as in the process of doing my research, I once again just watched, a video of you, and now it's been in my head all day long.
That
you have
song?
been inside of my head all day long.
And I've been singing it all day long because
Right.
we're doing,
I'm sure.
Tiny Desk, NPR next
Oh, fantastic.
next week. Yeah.
But in that very first time, did you know that it was something special? And I'm sure you did. Like, you must have.
I knew it was special and different. I had no idea. I mean, music has added such an incredible, I can't even call it a layer because it feels so intrinsic to the whole thing. But I loved the film, and this initial reading was sort of just like an extract of the film, and Idamar Moses did a brilliant job of adapting that, and we were sort of playing with those scenes, but now having like all this incredible music part of it has just elevated it to this transcendent kind of a place.
You don't look quite like this in the show.
No,
You
no,
know. You have a...
no, because I'm under a beautiful wig.
It's gorgeous.
It's really beautiful. It's worth the price of a premium seat.
I think so.
Yeah, she's real shaggy.
Yep.
She's a little oily.
Yeah, she hasn't been washed.
She hasn't been washed since
bit,
Rent closed.
The marker for all of these.
Yeah, and that's actually what I'm waiting for at that point.
Yeah.
The revival. No, the Ghostlight Records
Yes.
did a really
And you're-
amazing job with this album. She's really she's an amazing wig.
And as we know, your telephone guy, your scene partner is a telephone booth.
Best scene partner I've ever had.
I bet. Just
steady,
really,
sturdy. It's always there.
Yeah, but we joke. But you have the 11 o'clock number.
Yeah.
It elicits tears that I think a lot of people in that audience didn't even know they still had in them throughout their show. And then it's an incredible number. Does it still give you chills to perform that song? Because it really is just.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, and it's not like I give myself chills when I sing, but it's
Wow,
because
I nailed that.
No, what I love about it is the singing together with this brilliant company and this group of musicians who are also on stage with us, some of them. It's just it's the only moment in the whole show when we are all kind of doing this thing together.
Yeah.
And the show is so restrained. David Cromer did such brilliant work at keeping it restrained and keeping the audience kind of on the edge of their seat through this very quiet piece, and then for it to kind of blossom into this full-hearted explosion of longing.
Beautiful.
It's like it's really special, and it's why I feel so grateful in so many ways to be part of this, to be part of that moment. Really is special.
Eric, what are the fans? What are the viewers?
What are the fans saying?
What are the fans asking about?
Okay, Nicolette wants to know, and I was kind of curious about this too, since you are standing there staring at a telephone for a long time with your great scene partner. What's going through your head while you're standing there?
Ring.
Yeah. Ring, damn it. It changes, It's like I think about my own longings. I think about what this guy is going through. Sometimes, because it's 8 shows a week on a long run, sometimes I might be thinking about absolutely nothing.
Sure. Yeah,
it really
absolutely.
depends. And often I'm in a meditative place, and also this guy would be standing at this phone at like all hours of the night. It could be 4 a.m. and he might be half asleep. And so I'm sort of getting into that zone of just like, okay, this sort of inactive, like empty vessel.
Right.
And sometimes I'm thinking, wow, my lower back really hurts right now. I'm just going to shift slightly and hope nobody notices.
Do you have special shoes?
I have orthotics in the shoes. I'm not looking directly at the light, which people often
don't. Yeah. So you have to be in the right place.
Yeah, but I'm grateful for that daily meditation, sometimes twice daily meditation. It's hard enough to be still in my own life, and to have something that is like forcing me to, just center myself and be that still.
Right.
And to be part of a musical that is in so many ways about stillness and this idea of waiting. And David Cromer often talked about like an active waiting, and how that is sort of what we're all doing in our life anyway, is like, this active waiting, hoping, reaching for something, some kind of catharsis. So I try to activate the standing in a way and keep it on the edge of my toes a little bit.
Do you love working with David Cromer?
I love him.
Yeah, he's just
awesome.
I haven't met one person that's worked with him and hasn't just had the best things to say about him.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
It's a good track record.
Absolutely.
Yeah, no, and I've been a big fan of his for years. I remember seeing Our Town, and I went to school in Chicago, so he's such a big Chicago presence. So I've been a long-time fan. I've been waiting to be able to do a gig with him.
Yeah, here it is.
Here it is.
Okay, I have a question about the telephone guy. Do you guys have a name for him backstage? Should we contribute?
His name is off. It changes. Oh. It's often Benjamin Shlomo.
Okay. All right.
Ben Shlomo.
Ben Shlomo. Okay.
Which is the former last name of someone in my company. I'll leave that to you to research.
Oh my
there was
God.
someone in our company's last name was Ben Shlomo before he or she changed it.
Oh, and I wanted to ask you about something. You are revolutionizing dinner theater.
Story
Thank
course
you for
asking
NYC.
that.
Of course. Tell us about this and how this began.
Well, I actually we had a whole workshop last night, and I barely have slept, so this is great to talk about. Yeah. So it's interactive, immersive dinner experiences. So we're telling migration stories of we take a chef who's come from somewhere around the world, and we tell their story of migration through a plated dinner experience. And each course pairs with that section of the story. So we tell a section of the story through performance, interactivity around the table, servers, musicians, whatever it may be. And then we serve the course that pairs with that section of the story. And throughout the evening, you're getting the journey of the chef's migration.
Yeah. That's so cool.
So,
it reminds me of that show like on Netflix, which I can't think of.
Chef's
the name.
Table. That's
Chef's
kind
Table,
of what inspired it.
Gotcha.
I love that show.
It's so cool. Yeah, it's beautiful.
So we just had our workshop last night. We're developing our next round of this experience with an amazing Iranian chef named Behzad Jamshidi. Our last round, we had original music by Shayna Taub.
Wow,
And
yes.
You know, so we've been working with some awesome folks. Benj Pasek is helping out, and a whole slew of incredible creative talent.
Fantastic.
I love it. Joanne would like to know, what was it like to close out Rent in those final months?
Speaking of those 10 years.
Full circle.
Yeah.
Well, that was incredible because it was my first foray into not only Broadway, but professional theater at all. I mean, I was a student at Northwestern, and then all of a sudden I was starring in this iconic show that I loved, that I grew up loving, you know. So it really changed my life. That show became so much more meaningful to me than I ever thought possible. Its mantras became my mantras, and its humans became my humans. You know, some of my best friends in the world are from that company, and I still get emotional thinking about it, and we still sometimes perform together. The other night I did Seasons of Love with some of them at a benefit concert, and it was like this very special moment. You know, it's really become a profound part of my life.
Right.
Yeah.
And now 10 years later, in one of the most Tony-nominated shows of the year, the band's visit at the Barrymore Theater. Adam, thank you so much.
Thank you.
For
Ghostlight
coming in.
Records.
Yes, get the CD. Go see the show. Go see Adam. Are you on social media? Where should they?
Yeah, at Adam J. Cantor on Instagram, Twitter.
Yeah, follow this guy. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Come back
Great to
with
be
us
here.
anytime, always. And yeah, Eric, take us out. Tell us about tomorrow.
Will do. Okay. Thank you so much for tuning in. You can watch Live at 5 every single weekday live at 5 p.m. on Broadway.com's Facebook page. If you're a fan of podcasts, we also release this as a podcast. So type in Live at 5, search for it wherever you get those. You can tune in tomorrow when we're hanging out with Leslie Margarita. All right, everybody. Have a great night. Bye-bye.